In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, the Truthful, and the Most Just. May Allah's Salaam Alaikum. Yeah, we are thankful to Allah for allowing us to meet once again with you for congregational prayer service. We want to remind you of the importance of the keeping up of prayer. We one of the things about prayer, we do it in good times and in bad. That's one of the reasons why the scriptures refers to our relationship as a marriage. It's for better and for worse. Richer, poorer, we never forget Allah. Many people think when they're making progress that they can put Allah, put God on the shelf. Then when they get in trouble, they take him off again. Well, it don't work like that. When you start thinking that you are the reason that you are achieving so much, you deceive yourself. Flesh don't achieve anything without mind guiding it. And you didn't come here with the mind you have. That's why it's written, salvation is the gift of God. So, and his gift to us is the truth. And that's what saves us. So, let us remember these things, and he will preserve us among those whom he hath preserved. Otherwise, we perish. So, I haven't spoken on it because of other things that have come up, but I'm not unaware of what's happening in Flint, Michigan. And I'm not unaware of whose fault it is. And I'm not unaware that it's no accident. These people put emergency managers over all of the cities that's run by black people. In other words, they just took charge of black people's elected officials and just pushed them aside. Then they poisoned them. Then they turned the city back over to the mayor. He just turned the city back over to the mayor. I thought the state needed to take it over because it was in an emergency, and the mayor and them wasn't able to deal with it. Now it's an emergency there, and he turning it back over to somebody who he already said is not capable of dealing with. Does that action make any sense? And you know, actions speak louder than words. As I said, you know, that's when you start lying. I don't care how you try, you can't get a lie straight. The more you lie, the bigger the lie gets. Now, his action of turning the city back into the hands of the mayor is proof that he never should have took it over in the first place. Well, yeah, okay. But I'm going to tell you something. When people have proved to you over and over that they don't care nothing about you, and you still keep on running up there to them, it ain't all their fault. Huh? You and me got a history of turning on people who kept us. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We got a history of that. As the messenger said, you are crazy people. People who care nothing about you, you run to them. People who care about you, you attack them. Okay. They done told you, once you get led in, you can't get it out. They knew that. To treat the water where it wouldn't corrode the pipes, they said it costs about $100 a day. That's what they said it cost, approximately $100 a day. This could have not been done. Well, if they knew that the water needed treating, well, then they knew that the people were going to be poisoned by the corrosive effect of the untreated water. Okay. You see all of these people that hate us flocking to Donald Trump. These people they done went crazy. They haven't even thought about the fact of all of the Spanish Americans that's in the military, all of the black people that's in the military, all of the people that they hate so much out here fighting to defend them. And they put a man in there that ain't got no respect for none of the people that he's supposed to be gonna get over. That stuff gonna blow up in your face, boy. Okay, you go right ahead. But you know, he and I think he about 4 years older than me, I think. And as dumb as a bag of nails when it comes to dealing with people. Now, what kind of folks follow him? Remember that movie, Dumb and Dumber? Do you honestly think that the people in the military that defends you are going to stand back and watch you mow their people down? Is that what you think? You some crazy people. You invite people to your country, you invite people to your educational system, you melt your minds together, and we all think alike, basically. But somehow you don't see them as your brother. I guess next you take the Statue of Liberty down. You just will have to. You know, it's insane. Well, at least now we all see each other. So, you know, I mean, I say to you, my people, we need to unite and build our own schools and build our own communities and live as much as possible a peaceful life with whoever will let us. Huh? Yes. That's the way you do that. Let Allah worry about who want to do you some harm. So he said he's going to give all of them that love war and like to fight, he's going to let them drink their own blood. And I see that happening. I mean, you know, people going in the theater shooting up their own people. What? Then when a boy go in and tell people he killing them because they black, they try to figure out a way to say that it wasn't a hate crime. Mm-hmm. You know, murderers masquerading themselves as politicians and policemen and judges. Murderers masquerading themselves as religious folks. I remember when former President Bush, George W. Bush, no, it was George H.W. Bush. When he spoke of Saddam Hussein, he called him Saddam Hussein. And all of the news media referred to him as Saddam Hussein. Taking the lead that the president gave. I notice things. I mean, I have to. Things that other people don't pay no attention to. Because I have to judge all of you. President Obama calls those people ISIL. He don't call them ISIS. He call them ISIL. Why the news media insist on calling them ISIS? Same way you was watching me. I'm watching you. I see you. Hear you too. Okay. Now, if I bring that up, didn't I tell you I don't always say what I see and what I hear? I've been saw this stuff. Just like you want to insist on calling murderers Muslims. These police officers that shooting these my people down and doing all this unjust stuff to my people, they go to church. Most of them go to church. But you don't hear me refer to them people as Christians. Just because you walk in a hospital, that don't make you no doctor. Just because you put on a white coat and walk in a hospital, that don't make you a doctor. I have to see what you do before I can call you a doctor. But I believe in justice. I don't believe in calling people out of their name. It's like I told you, if I call you a hypocrite, I can prove that's what you are. Otherwise, I won't say it. You know, it's just like the young man last night want to come in there and call white people peckerwood. And if you ask him what that means, he don't know. But a lot of our women call them that because they was raping so many of our women. Every time he come around there, he in heat. But I don't go into that kind of stuff. I don't want to hear that mess. If you want to talk to me about anybody, you show the same courtesy and respect that you want to be afforded. You show that to people. I don't care who they are. I mean, we are taught that you don't even go out and kick a dog for no reason. You don't mistreat creatures just because you can. I teach our children, you see a little bug or something crawling around, I don't be stepping on that bug. Leave it alone. It's a different thing when you're in your house. Watch them when something enter their house, what they do. There you go. Allah loves not the aggressor. But if he out there on his way to whatever he doing and ain't in your way, you leave that little creature alone. Here black people and elected them some officials and whatnot, and here the governor got to come in there and look what they did to Detroit. Came in there and robbed it. Sent an emergency manager in there and everything all of a sudden just falling apart. Money gone. When the state owed the city money and hadn't paid them. If they'd have paid the city the money they owed the city, wouldn't have been no bankruptcy. But when you got people leading you that trembles every time a white man walk in, that's why they can do you like that. We are on YouTube, man. Okay. You know, your problem is you want to take credit for what you didn't do. There wasn't even no movement to get you into white people's places until the black Muslims stood up and started talking about separation. Wasn't nobody pushing no integration back in the 30s, nor the 40s. but it was a man teaching that you should be proud of your black self and that you should unite with your own people and pool your resources and do something for yourself. And the answer to them trying to fight the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was to launch that civil rights stuff. And they used an intelligent young black man to spearhead it, named Martin Luther King. And it come out later that Martin Luther King said, I'm afraid that all I've done was invite my people into a burning house. Look at Flint, Michigan now. The man attacked our babies. Because the black man opened the door and the Negro called himself black and went through it. But I'm just telling you the truth. You want some more proof? The white man attacked Dr. Cosby in an organization that the white man set up to so-called advanced black people. They attacked Dr. Cosby without any proofs at all, and the NAACP ain't said a word. And when we called him and asked him why, well, he got money. He can handle that. Ain't that something? After a while, they stopped even taking our calls. We had other people call and say they got short with them. An organization that say they care about our rights. All they care about is getting paid. That's all they care about. I said it. All they care about is getting paid. And the ones who truly cared about you, you didn't rest until you helped the white man try to get rid of the Nation of Islam. All of that good that was going on while the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was here, you saw black businesses springing up and the black man importing fish on his own. That didn't make you proud. Yet you was running around here stealing our teachings. I'm black and I'm proud. You lying. You lying. If I felt a little better, I would keep going. I don't really feel like talking to you today, but I'm telling you, this stuff gonna blow up in your face. You're gonna get enough of turning down people who came to help you. You know, you don't have to believe it, but the moon wouldn't be out there now if it hadn't been for low down black people that thought that they didn't have to answer to God. He showed them. Why you think most original nations, they have a lunar calendar? They've been counting since that got out there. Okay. As it was in the days of Noah. By the way, that's how that flood happened. Noah and moon, when it got put out there. The water was poured, all that water out the ocean, out the valley, was poured back in. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. And Allah said he's not going to hurt the earth no more because of what man do. You know, no. We know what to do now. So, just keep on. And the shock of the hour is a grievous thing. Remember Prophet Muhammad said 3 generations after him wasn't going to be of him no more. The Holy Quran bears witness. Oh, yeah, it's in there. You just didn't understand what you were reading. So, let's see here. Let's see. Don't worry, I'm gonna let you go
to reign in North Korea, but you can't imagine Xi Jinping is happy with the situation.
I'm gonna let you go in a minute. In chapter 49. This is the 13th verse. It says, O mankind, surely we have created you from a male and a female, and made you tribes and families, that you may know each other. Surely, know each other mean understand each other. How do you get to understand people? You study their culture. And you start to see in what ways you are alike and in what ways you are different. And the more you learn about each other, the more you see that you have, you know, certain things that other people thought of and can do that you never would have thought of. And you start to see the value of each other. And at the same time, you start to see, oh, yeah, we do that too. And you start to see that you have more in common than you thought. So it says, does one of you like to eat the flesh of his dead brother? You abhor it. Cannibalism? Physically, you don't want to do that. Excuse me. I skipped up to a verse there. And that was the 12th verse. I don't mean to go there. It says, surely the noblest of you with Allah is the most dutiful. The one who fears him and keeps his commandments. It ain't got nothing to do with what you look like. It have to do with how do you respond to the word of God. Because regardless of what nation you are a member of, your first duty is to your creator. The noblest among you with Allah is the most dutiful of you. Surely Allah is knowing. He understands and is aware of what you do, whether he make that known to you or not. The dwellers of the desert say, we believe. Now, you got a whole lot of folks over there dwelling in them desert countries, calling themselves believers. And I was told to say to them, say, you believe not. You say we submit. When I have made him complete and breathed into him of my spirit, you fall down and submit to him. And whoever don't submit to me, you are not a Muslim. I knew what the person was trying to get at last night that was asking me, what is a bully pulpit and what is this and what is that? I'm trying to figure out if it's something that they could ask me that I don't know. There's plenty you might could ask me that I didn't know, but it sure ain't nothing you can ask Allah that he don't know. And wherever I go, he's right there with me, as he promised. That's what he promised, and he kept his word. He said, behold my servant, whom I'm upholding. And he said, whosoever fall on that living stone will be crushed. That's right. And whosoever that stone fall on and grind them to powder. So we're not here. That's why you think he told me don't be afraid. If anything, he said they better be scared of you. that's what he said. And you see, don't know them want to come in here and have no conversation with me. Sitting up out there scheming and going on. Scheme on. You feel like you want to scheme? That's your way of letting off steam. You scheme on. They got a song that says something like that. So, yeah. And I tell you this. This ain't no day and time to do your thing. Remember the Sabbath day. To keep it in accord with the Holy Scriptures. Why? Because the Holy Scriptures is being revealed to you now and how you're supposed to be conducting yourself. You couldn't keep it holy when you didn't understand. It wasn't time for you to be holy, but it's time now. And I'm giving you understanding of the Holy Scriptures, which means now you can be holy if you want. Be ye holy as he is holy. You didn't have no problem when somebody told you where you want to be. Well, I want to be an engineer. Okay, they send you to school and they say, be an engineer. And they start putting that knowledge in you. Well, I'm the only one that can put holiness in you. Now, will you humble yourself and let me do so? Or you want to keep acting the fool? Okay, let's stand and have prayer. Hut, 10, hut. Original salute. Ready front. Prayer position. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. And I bear witness that I know of none who deserves to be served or worshipped beside thee. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, all holy praise is due and be to thee, O Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful Master of the day of requital. Thee do we serve and thee do we beseech for help. O Allah, please continue to guide us and keep us on the right path and way, the straight path and way of thee and those upon whom thou hast bestowed thy favors, not the crooked paths and ways of Satan and those upon whom thy wrath is or will be brought down, nor the foolish paths and ways of those who go astray or who are led astray even after they've heard and been given the true understanding of thy holy word and teachings. Truly, I have again turned myself to thee, O Allah, striving to be totally upright, to thee who originated the heavens and the earth, and I am not of the polytheists. Truly my prayers, my sacrifices, my life and my death are all for thee, O Allah, the Lord of the worlds. No associate hast thou, and this am I commanded, and I am of those who submit. O Allah, thou art the King. I know of no God but thee. Thou art my Lord, and I am thy servant. I have been greatly unjust to myself, and I confess my faults and weaknesses. So please grant me and my true followers and family continuous protection against all of our faults and weaknesses. For none grants protection against faults and weaknesses but thee. And guide us to and instill within us the best of moral character and thoughts. For none can guide us to and instill within us the best of moral character and thoughts but thee. And turn us away from and remove from us the evil and indecent moral character and thoughts. For none can turn us away from and remove from us the evil and indecent moral character and thoughts but thee. And O Allah, please keep us in our right minds at all times, and let us not be or turn hypocrites or cowards, and remove from us the evil state of mind and thoughts of devils, and place within us the righteous state of mind and thoughts that are in accord with thy uprightness and righteousness. And O Allah, please let me remain a true believer in thee and in thy holy scriptures and the prophets who brought them. And let no man, woman, or child, or jinn deceive me and cause me to lose my reward, nor my regard with thee. Amen.
Amen.
Hut, tent, hut. Original salute. Ready front. You may be seated. Tomorrow, if it pleases Allah, I will teach on some more of the prophecies that are being fulfilled now. As the prophecy of the Holy Bible the book of Timothy. It is Second Timothy. It is jumping off the page. It's just like where my Prophet Muhammad, where I read to you that they will be claiming that they are Muslim, and I was told that they was claiming they believe. I was told to tell them, you don't believe, and you don't believe. You don't know whether you believe or not until the true understanding of the scriptures is brought to you, and the rightly guided one have to come in order for you to be known as a believer or a disbeliever. Faith had not yet entered into your heart because the one who was to put the faith in there hadn't made it yet. I'm the one who authors the faith in you. And the scripture refers to me as the author and finisher of the faith. I'm the first and the last. I'm the beginning and the ending. You're getting mad all you want. That ain't gonna change nothing. The only thing you're gonna wind up doing is how you was angry with me. You're gonna be 10 times that angry with yourself when you realize who it was that was standing here talking to you. That's right. And the sad part is, you know that it's your mind that's directing your body. And you still ain't figured out that I'm the best knower among you. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. What it look like? And can't even go to it. I mean, it's sad when the average person they're scared to even go sit in a movie house. Scared to take their family out to a movie. And then you got people that's running for president that preys on you, on your fears, and magnifies those fears and makes you even more afraid because they got their eyes on your wallet. They want to get in control of your tax money. And whatever it takes to get there, that's what they prey on. If you're scared, make them scared. And do like Hitler said. Whatever you see them let's see if I can find it.
Who is it? A friend, Mr. Volman. A friend? You have need of friends, allies. Come down, Mr. Volman. Come down and we will talk, you and I. Hello, Mr. Volman. Who are you? How did you know where I was? I simply followed your tears, Mr. Volman.
You said that you had something to talk about.
I do. I do indeed. I have you to talk about, and the things you believe in, which are the things I believe in as well. Your success, Mr. Volman, will be my success.
Go on.
Good. Let us start by your learning what are the dynamics of a crowd. How do you move a mob, Mr. Volman? How do you excite them? How do you make them feel as one with you?
I don't know how.
Join them first, Mr. Volman.
Join them.
Yes. When you speak to them as if you were a member of the mob. Speak to them in their language, on their level. Make their hate your hate. If they are poor, talk to them of poverty. If they are afraid, talk to them of their fears. And if they are angry, Mr. Volman, if they are angry, give them objects for their anger. But most of all, the thing that is most of the essence, Mr. Volman, is that you make this mob an extension of yourself.
Look like he was looking at the same movie, huh? So that's what he go around the country doing. Ted Cruz do it too. Trump, Cruz. So a whole lot of them take that playbook. Yeah, if you want to be governed like that, you go right ahead. Choose up. But you think I'm telling you this because I'm scared what they gonna do? They ain't gonna do nothing to me. I'm trying to keep them from doing that to this country. Because that's what Allah told me to do. Give you warning. I just showed you what they're doing, and you see it on the news every day. But you wanna go there? Go ahead. You know, it ain't got no good end. That playbook been tried before. It didn't end well for Hitler now. And it ain't gonna end well for none of you. Did you honestly think that wickedness was gonna rule this earth forever? You had 6,000 years to do that foolishness. And the maker of them told them, said, remember the Sabbath day now to keep it holy. Why? When the Lord comes, you can't do that. You know, can't you see? I tell you everything that they mean by what they say, and you didn't know nothing about it. Just like majority rule, and he called everybody but his people a minority. And you didn't put that together. Coded language for white supremacy. That stuff don't work no more. Man, the whole earth is about to come against you if you don't straighten up. Do you hear not earthquakes in different places all over the earth? Didn't Jesus tell you all this is the beginning of sorrows? Why? Because you think you're going to keep on doing what you was doing. You want to have it like it was again. That's what he means when he said make it great again. Make it a great place to do evil again. To mess over people and they don't know they're being messed over. To terrorize people. Because you got all of the advantage and you got them at a disadvantage. Is my hand trembling? You ain't terrorizing nobody. You deceiving yourself. You sow in the wind, and you shall reap the whirlwind. You mark my words. You're going to get enough of going around sowing dissension and evil in people. That little crazy boy that went down there and killed up all of them little white babies in that school, that Sandy Hook. Went there and shot all them babies because he's so full of hate that his mind done backed up on him. What kind of mind walk in a room full of babies and murder them? What kind of mind walk into a place where people sitting down watching a movie and start just murdering people? Them people ain't doing nothing to you. And then the people who's supposed to be the adults in the house, the government, they up there encouraging it, talking about we need more guns. We don't need no gun control. Why they don't need no gun control? Because the one who telling them what to do, who put the suit on them, who pulled them out of somewhere that you don't even know where they come from. Next thing you know, they done got them all in front of the television and created a image for them. And made you think they've been somebody that's been about something. You voted them into office, and then they commenced to making laws and everything that even make it lawful for the news media to lie to you. Oh yeah, I ain't forgot. Let me see here. I'm gonna bring it up. Excuse me. You have to close it out and bring it up again. But these things that I'm sharing with you, I like to give you proof. See, you too quick to forget. And a person that don't have a good memory is easily tricked. You can lie to people that don't have no good memory. And the substitute for not having a good memory is to promote bigotry. Just like last night when the lady was let me see, what was that? I'll tell you in a minute. When the lady came in there and pretended to agree that a lot of these women was lying on Dr. Cosby, but it's one that he did rape. And she went to keep talking. And when I cut her off to get her to tell what the name was, they tried to make it look like I was stopping her from talking. When all I did was, wait a minute, you just threw that out there and you want to keep on going, no. Who was it that he raped? And she got mad. and they're gonna try to bring up court that you're supposed to let people know. No, when people interject something that is not evidentiary or that haven't been any proof of, a lawyer is malpractice if he let that go. He's supposed to object. If he didn't object, if he tries to appeal it and go up there to the a higher court, and he says, "Well, I object to them letting this in," and they look at the record and say, "Well, counsel, you didn't offer no objection to this in the lower court." So there's nothing here to argue. You didn't argue that in the lower court. You let it go. Which, if anything, your client needs to sue you for malpractice. But see, they teach you to be bigots. A bigot and a liar are basically the same thing. A bigot is actually a person who feeds their own delusions. And they want to force feed them to you. Do you understand? So in order to force feed you, they can't let you stop them to ask no question. If you stop them to ask them a question, they say you cutting them off. You see, so the people in this society are bigots. You know, tell me something. What is the point of locking the barn door if you let the horse get out? When you see the horse trying to get out, that's the time to lock the door. Now you want me to let the lie out and then say I want to try to stop it. The time to stop a lie is when you hear it. And you notice she never got around to telling us who she was talking about. So I didn't let it keep on going. Now, if they didn't, I know that wasn't my forum. But as long as I was in that, I mean, all she had to do was tell me, okay, you got to go. I left. But if I'm going to be there, you ain't going to tell me I got to be quiet and listen to somebody lying. You got your people mixed up. You should have looked at some of my videos. Don't nobody put no muzzle on me. I'm not disrespecting you when I'm conducting myself like I do all of the time. If I say something that a person want to question me on, I don't let nobody stop them from questioning me. And I'm not going to let you stop me from questioning somebody that's lying on somebody or trying to push a lie or defame the character of someone that I have respect for. Even if I don't have a great love for a person, I'm not going to let you disrespect them and just say anything about them that you ain't had no proof of. And I'm supposed to go along with it. You out of your mind. Not me. But
in a world economy where information is filtered by global media corporations, keenly attuned to their powerful advertisers, who will defend the public's right to know? And what price must be paid to preserve our ability to make informed choices?
83 times. 83 times is unheard of. It doesn't happen. You shouldn't have to rewrite something 83 times. Obviously, they didn't want to in Atlanta, whose name is Carolyn Forrest, the Fox corporate lawyer.
And I said, this isn't about being fired for no cause. You're firing us because we refused to put on the air something that we knew and demonstrated to be false and misleading. That's what this is about. And because we put up a fight, because we stood up to this big corporation, and we stood up to your editors, and we stood up to your lawyers, and we said to you, look, there ought to be a principle higher than just making money.
And she wrote a letter back and said, you are right. That's exactly what it was. You stood up to us on this story, and that's why we're letting you go. Big mistake. Big mistake. That says retaliation. You can't retaliate against employees if they're standing up for something that they believe is illegal, that they don't want to participate in. So that gave us the whistleblower status that we needed in the state of Florida to file a whistleblower claim against our employer.
What Fox neglected to report is this. Jane sued Fox under Florida's whistleblower statute, which protects those who try to prevent others from breaking the law. But her appeal court judges found that falsifying news isn't actually against the law. So they denied Jane her whistleblower status over the law. So they denied Jane her whistleblower. Court judges found that falsifying news isn't actually against the law. So they denied Jane her whistleblower status. But her appeal court judges found that falsifying news isn't actually against the law. But her appeal court judges found that falsifying news isn't actually against the law.
Why isn't falsifying news against the law? Because the crooks done bought up your Congress. They stand up and lie to you and tell you that the Affordable Health Care Act ain't helping nobody. And they're going to repeal it as soon as possible. Then they tell you, we got to take our government back. They get out in front of it before you start realizing that it's them you need to take your government back from. You know, you remember when President Obama asked the people to call their congressmen and tell them what they wanted, and the lines got backed up in Washington, and that didn't make the Congress cooperate with what the president wanted to do. What does that tell you? These people ain't your servants; they the servants of them rich folks that made them millionaires. Went into Congress, and they wasn't no millionaire, and come out of there, and they all of a sudden they millionaire. Getting paid $50,000 to go speak for an hour. It's legal. And just, what is that? Rerouting tax money. That's why you give them all them tax breaks, and then the money that they should have been paying in taxes, they pay it in bribes. Lobbyists and stuff. When the Congress of the United States, no one should be allowed to go there lobbying them. When a man runs for office and makes promises, he should be held to what he promised. Because that's what got him in there, what he was promising. And if a man goes to try to run for an elected position in the United States, listen to the name, the United States of America, who goes in there or tries to get in there by sowing discord, he has no business in the government. Because he's trying to divide one member of the country against another member. How are you going to stay united if you got people in the government that's trying to divide you? But you see, in order to get that kind of person running for office, you have to revamp the educational system. And you have to not just teach the history of the country, teach the good, the bad, and the ugly, and explain why you had to change certain things because it was bad, because it's unjust, because it does not promote the ideals that the Constitution represents. And you should teach every child the Constitution of the United States. And you should have open discussion about it and what it means. And you never teach a child that the reason that, why would you tell a child that the reason that you have the Constitution, especially the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, is so that you can rise up against the government if they do something you don't like? That's not the reason the founding fathers framed the Constitution. They've already gave you a means to redress whatever grievance you have with anyone that's in the government. You vote them out. Do you understand? You don't violently overthrow your own government. They even said a well-trained militia. That's a civilian armed force. And that is necessary for the security of the state. You don't want just your military people to be your last line of defense. If necessary, there should be civilians that's ready to help fight for their country against any foreign invader who would dare to attack you. Yes, that's what they had in mind. It ain't mean for you to be running around here trying to plot the scheme to murder your own government. But they played them. Why they don't come in here and correct me on these things that I'm saying? Look, let me tell you something. There ain't nothing that you doing that the black man hadn't tried before you. We are aware of all this stuff you got going. We just put ourselves to sleep to that knowledge for 6,000 years because we wanted something new. And now that's been done, as it's written. It is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending. I make all things new. And to show you, you can't make something new if you don't understand what's old. I'm showing you I understand what they had on their mind, but you sure don't understand what I got on mine unless I share it with you. Now you go and chew on that. Yeah, these people, and I mean, here they telling you that it ain't even against the law for them to lie to you and call it news. Allah already spoke on that. If an unrighteous person brings you news, what? Look carefully into it, lest you harm a people, and then be sorry for what you did. What is that? It ain't against the law. They can lie to you all they want, because they done covered themselves in Congress.
Which protects those who try to prevent others from breaking the law. But
so that gave us the whistleblower status that we needed in the state of Florida to file a whistleblower claim against our employer.
What Fox neglected to report is this. Jane sued Fox under Florida's whistleblower statute, which protects those who try to prevent others from breaking the law. But her appeal court judges found that falsifying news isn't actually against the law. So they denied Jane her whistleblower status.
You see? They just cover themselves by telling people, look, you go in there and you make it the law and you know, whatever we say on the news, you know, if we want to falsify the news, it's not against the law. Buyer beware. Huh? You know, when you buy the average used car, ain't that the slogan? You buying as is. Huh? It's up to you to check some history on it if you want to show me the Carfax. Well, when people bring you news, why don't you tell them, where's your proof of this? You keep saying it and saying it and saying it, but you haven't gave us no proof of this. Then when someone demands proof, they get ridiculed. When did your mouth become a prayer book? I don't stand up here and just say things. And if I hold myself to that standard, what make you think I'm gonna loosen that standard up when it comes to your mouth? I done been around con men all my life. That's what America full of, con men. Pat you on the back and grin up in your face and you my ace, man. You my buddy. And so and then lie to you and try to get you to go along with a lie. That's why it bothers me when people just out of the blue start praising me. We really appreciate you. And look, I don't want to hear that. What is it you want to ask me? Do you think I am stupid? How could you be around me for all these years and think I'm stupid? Anyone that come into a class with me would quickly learn and quickly observe that I'm a long way from being a fool. You can say anything to a fool. Especially after you done praised him. You heard the man explaining how to control a mob. Find out what they interested in and then talk to them as one of them. And once they figure you one of them, whatever you say is fine. You heard Donald Trump telling people, put him out and keep his coat.
Yes, sir.
Could you imagine what an uproar that would have created if President Obama talked like that? Could you imagine? What did that nigga say? It's white people listening to me right now. You hear any of them saying that I'm speaking out of turn? They can unmute their phones. You know, you go on, get together, plan and scheme what you're going to do to me and my people. Go ahead, plan on, scheme on. Going along with poisoning my people, going along with people murdering my people. Remember that now. And remember that I did offer you a chance. You're not going to like it when you see all of the forces of nature coming after you. You're not going to like it. And all of you that side with them who plan against us, you ain't going to like it either. You should correct yourself. That's called repent. Recognize that you just been saying that you believe all men are brethren, but you better learn the truth. All people came from the black man, which makes all people family. That's why all people are being offered salvation, because no father wants to see any of his family destroyed. But at the same time, he's not going to let a low-down member or a group of members destroy the rest. Okay. All right. May Allah bless us all, keep us safe and in our right minds. And may he truly, as I have said, bless America. May Allah, assalamu alaikum.